Alright, now that we got everything working, let's go do what I know you guys all want to see happen. Shit. Hey everybody, we've been kind of slacking off with the whole video blog thing, so I'm going to try to film some of what I'm working on today so we can get some material out there, give you a little more info on all of our projects and where they sit. So, of course, Lucas has been working on the CB and the CRX and all of those fun projects. I think he's currently waiting on more rear wheel bearing parts for his motorcycle, which is kind of funny because my KTM's actually in the shop right now getting the rear wheel bearings replaced for the second time since I've bought it. But that's what a warranty's for, that's why I bought a new bike, so all good. The RX-8, I fixed some suspension stuff on it yesterday. It is back in as good of condition as it really ever is. It's not clunky anymore, handles all right, all that fun stuff. So today I'm going to work on the Volvo some. Since the last time you guys saw it, it's just been getting driven. I've been turning the boost up, doing some tuning, got launch control sorted out, fun stuff like that, and in the process have managed to completely destroy the transmission that's in it. It is the AW70 that came in most of the naturally aspirated Volvo 240, 740s, and 940s through the 80s and early 90s. The downside to that particular transmission is it holds essentially zero power. They are known to fail on stock power levels, which in my car was 114 horsepower at the crank. Definitely putting out more than that now. We actually tried to put the car on the dyno last Saturday. There's some photos of it around, but you won't see any numbers because the transmission was slipping too bad. And that resulted in none of the numbers actually making sense. The only one that might even apply is we made 189 on one pass before it just started tapering off due to transmission slip. And that was about 3 or 4 pounds of boost. But even that number, you could argue it is a real number or that it's not. So we'll just not worry about that till we get the new transmission in it and get it working as it should. Now, the transmission that's going in is an AW71, which is the transmission that came in the turbo models of the 240, 740, and 940 through the 80s and early 90s. The transmission is almost identical to the AW70, except the gears inside it are physically larger. The clutch material and metal plates in there are a little bit beefier, and it runs higher line pressure. The big thing is that higher line pressure, because even with the AW70 that I had, we shimmed the accumulators, which should have stopped some of the slipping and slowed down the wear, but obviously that didn't help much. So with the AW71, with the higher line pressure, you have more clamping force. Hopefully we just don't have any slip at all, so there's no chance for stuff to start wearing and everything will be just peachy. But the limits of that transmission are about where the limits of power are for the bottom end on this motor, so I'm not really sure which is going to fail first, but we're going to find out. Should have a transmission here in the next few weeks and gonna borrow my buddy's lift and stuff like that. Hopefully will be a relatively painless process putting it in the car. But for today, I'm gonna chase down a few little issues that I've been working on. Mostly electrical. The lighting for the oil pressure gauge has been being stupid. Accidentally powered the entire ECU and all of the fuel pump relays and everything that I wired in when I did the Megasquirt off of the original check engine light because I didn't do as much testing as I should have when we were trying to find a always-on power source to control all that. As I'm sure you could tell, that was not my first time taking this whole dash apart. So, for the first thing is this this gauge right here, my new oil pressure gauge. The backlighting on it, I wired it in, and it worked for like all of 30 seconds and then stopped again. So now I need to figure out if it was the bulb or if it was my wiring or something like that. So, what I have done over here is performed a cardinal sin of automotive electronics and used, I don't know if you can really see those very well, but the little vampire clips, the ones that you can like splice a wire into one side and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, in this case, I figured it was alright because, well, it's just some lighting. The wonderful thing though is, I don't know if you can see it, but Volvo used a black and brown wire right here that went to, crap, cannot see that at all, can you? All right, black and brown, right there, black and brown, black and brown. All right, that goes to this plug that plugs into the gauge cluster. Well, in the wiring diagrams, black was power and brown is ground for all of the instrument panel lights. Well, there's also a black and brown on this one. Well, I wired it to this guy first and it did not work. So then I switched everything over to this side and it worked, hooray! But now it's all stopped, so gotta figure out what's going on with that. Alright, so I literally jiggled some wires behind there, and as you can now see, I have backlighting on the gauge. So I'm really not sure what the issue was. It'll probably happen again, but until I can jiggle stuff and make it stop working, I can't really tell what it is. Alright, up next on our list is getting the power sorted out to the main relay for the ECU, fuel pumps, idle air control valve, boost controller, fans, basically everything important in the car. Because I added circuitry for all of that. I'm not using the stock fuse box at all anymore because Volvo used these really nifty little ceramic fuses and they're garbage. So all of the lighting and the stock stuff is still on that system in that fuse box, but I have everything hooked up through a better fuse box, and there's a main relay that supplies power to it that is now being triggered off of the current coming through the check engine light, so that needs to change. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably dislike wiring a lot. I actually enjoy it, but I am going to say, if you don't know how to do it, learn. Because not only will it save you money, it will save your ass one day. Alrighty, I think I figured out the ECU issue. Got it wired to something that will work a bit better. So, this next step is going to be putting all this crap back together. I still have one little light over here in the center console that came out. It's kind of annoying me. There we go. That's back in its hole. That'll be able to go back in. Let's get this gauge cluster back in. See. Alright, let's see how everything still works. Alright, still got lights on everything, fuel pump's primed, so obviously I'm getting power. Let's see if it'll actually start like this. Yep. Now the only issue that's still persisting is that damn oil light. Not sure why. I'm gonna go jiggle some things under the hood and see what happens, see if I can get that to go out. I didn't see anything out of place behind the dash, but who knows. Alright, now that we got everything working, let's go do what I know you guys all want to see happen. Shit. No idle air control valve, along with really large injectors and all that kind of stuff, makes it kind of hard to get going when you first start it up. I don't know if you can hear how bad the transmission is hanging, but it's not good. It doesn't really want to shift into first or second or third. Second and third don't even try to grip anymore, but now that it's warmed up,
nose.